dear listeners, to episode 47 of The Empty Rooms of Gorski Manor. We sat on the great roots of the Manor's hanging tree. The something that had sat on the tree branch was now gone, leaving us in an odd yet satisfying confusion. An unusual morning, I commented as I showed Feathers and Simon the two gifts received from this encounter. 2 acorn eyes, one green, one blue, that looked at us with anticipation. And the black ribbon, words shared, now disappearing as we watched. Eyes are not needed to see. I remembered the now gone message. I took out my notebook and wrote them down, for these magical sharings always seem to fade away from my memory quickly. So you feel we have a mystery afoot? I asked Simon.
Yes, a mystery mistress. I want to
Yes, we know. You want to be Hastings. Feathers and I laughed. Oh, something new for us to find and experience from the manor.
Oh, Mistress Caw-Caw, did you hear it? Something, did you?
Feathers pointed out. Oh, yes, I did. Oh my gosh. There it is. The mystery. Who or what is something? I said with great excitement.
Whose eyes are those? Whose?
Simon questioned, pointing to the eyes I held up as they looked back and forth at each of us.
Caw-Caw. Oh, that is the question.
Yes. Feathers and I agreed. Simon jumped, eager to start the mystery.
Look, mistress. Oh, look at the ribbon, mistress.
I still held the ribbon in my other hand. We all looked closely, and we saw red letters that were now appearing on it.
Caw-Caw? Automatic writing?
Like a Ouija board.
Kind of like that, but still different. But yes, a message from something, as she has given this magic ribbon to us.
Caw-Caw,
What does it say?
Feathers and Simon asked as they moved closer. You're not gonna believe this, I said with a big, amazed grin. It's written with some runes.
Oh, mistress. You do so love the runes.
A thought came to mind. This is interesting. Could something be a rune being? They are very ancient. Oh, but I did not feel that was right. She is something totally different. Gosh, how her name does flow with meaning when thinking of her. And that is what we saw, clear and bright, written on the ribbon. SOMETHING. Though the rune Swillow was written instead of the S, and the rune Manas for the M, and Gifu was written for the letter G. Well, this is a secret message if ever I saw one, I said with deepening interest.
Mistress, I want to be Hastings, mistress.
Simon reminded us once again. Simon, I laughed. So Simon, how does Perot start? How do we start an investigation?
Well, I don't know.
Caw, go to the scene of the crime, Caw.
Feathers suggested. Well, that's where we are now, I said, thinking. I was here, sitting on the roots, when something was above and dropped the acorn eyes to me. Then she disappeared and reappeared on that tree's branch over there, I continued, pointing to the low branch and the crook that something had sat on.
Let's go over there. Yeah.
Simon said with enthusiasm.
Caw, that's the spot to start. Caw.
Feathers agreed. We all went to the tree branch where something had disappeared. The sun was now high in the sky, shining brightly down on us. The manor did feel so differently in the daylight. That air of mystery still hung heavy, and the things that wandered there in the corner of your eyes, just out of sight, were still there. You knew you saw something, but can never turn fast enough to see it. We managed to get up on the large, gravity-defying branch, for it was higher than it had looked. Each of us did a thorough search, looking in knotholes and cracks of the bark, under the branch, and within the heavy-leafed smaller branches. I ended up sitting on what I thought was the exact spot something had sat. Simon and Feathers joined me, sitting against me on either side. The sun moved above us. The wind began to flow stronger, moving the branches and the leaves to allow Father's sun to cast his spotlight right down upon us. Oh, his energy is so strong. Me feeling his great warmth, more of a physical heat that I can actually truly feel upon my skin. His great power so far away, reaching straight to me, to little old me here in this moment. A very mind-blowing thought for sure. I turned my face up into his rays, enjoying the insane brightness, blinding me to all but his call. I sent my spiritual tendrils up from my heart, up through my crown center, and out into the great void, my awareness out all the way quickly to stop right in front of Father's Son. His flames danced and swirled with joy. Lightning bolts shot up like fireworks. I could actually see his breath, his vibration, his heart beating out and back, out and back. I saw deep inner magic within his being, total clear vision in the magic of light, in the color of yellow. I asked him for some guidance, some clarity within his clear, bright light. What's next? I asked, as I felt weirdly tired, wanting to experience so much, but my available energy failing me, allowing sadness to creep in once again through the cracks of my inner protections. I never know what is to come until my fingers begin to write, images transmuted to me absolutely swelling with gratitude and amazement, yet weary and unsatisfied by what I can accomplish. Odd musings coming from my heart here in this harsh brightness of light. I wanted to melt back into the shadows. I waited for Father's Son response. I saw a great burst of yellow, His message to me, simply the color yellow. I shouted my thank you as I felt my awareness being pulled back to my heart on the tree limb of Gorski Manor.
Caw, mistress, what kind of a tree is this one, Caw?
Feathers questioned. I could immediately see it was not an oak tree, as was Harry's hanging tree. I looked to the leaves, and I looked to the bark, and then I knew. This is an ash tree, I began, thinking further into the teachings of the Celtic Ogham Paths. Newen is its name. It's the 5th level of the birch path, the world tree to the Celtics. Oh, this tree is of clarity, connecting to your community. I was just talking with Father's Son far above. His brightness, a definite message for finding clarity. I think this is something we are now searching for. Simon and Feathers agreed with interest.
Caw.
Father's Son also said yellow. He shared we should tap into this color. But I don't remember any yellow with something, do you? Simon and Feathers thought for a moment, and both shook their heads no. Though the rising sun, bright and blinding white, did come up behind her, encircling her black silhouette, with the white shining through the places of her eyes, the place where they should be. We thought on that for a time. Well, it seems they were holes in her silhouette, but I thought our greater sight and knowing is through our heart.
Yes, mistress, yes.
Simon said, placing his hands on his heart to feel that spot of connection, then closing his eyes and taking a deep connecting breath.
Caw, mistress, you are tapping into something. Caw.
Feathers shared. Simon and I looked at her with a knowing smile at that special word. Her name is something. What does yellow mean to you? I asked them, as that was the guidance from Father's Son. We all thought for a moment as the ever-flowing sun slowly moved on, releasing its warmth from us now cooling in the breeze that tickled the leaves on this branch, bringing the song of the ash to our ears as we thought to the meaning of the color yellow. Asa, oh, asa, oh, Feathers began to share first.
Caw, I feel yellow and see yellow in the flowers of a field. Caw. When I fly high in the sky, caw, it helps me to know how high I am. Caw, and which way I am going. Caw, yellow is my path. Caw.
Oh, a lovely sharing Yellow has with you, Feathers. I spoke, honoring her special meaning and purpose.
The moon, mistress, the moon.
Simon eagerly began to sing.
The moon in the sky is so yellow, and we can sing and play. Every night together, yellow is my friends.
Oh, how lovely, Simon. Thank you so much for sharing your little song of your personal connection.
How about you, mistress? How
Yes,
about you?
mistress. What's your yellow, mistress?
They both asked, eager to hear what I will share, as eager as I was to hear their sharing. For we all grow and learn with new perspectives that we would never have thought of if not for working with our friends. Okay, yellow to me is also the moon, but a waning thin crescent moon, I began, remembering and thinking what yellow has shared. It is a color of caution, like the yellow stop sign. A time of hesitation. Don't rush, keeping one's center safe, and don't share too quickly or freely until you are certain to whom you share it with.
Oh no, mistress!
Simon shouted and jumped with concern that we would no longer share so much. Simon, Feathers, we are dear friends and companions. Do not worry, I said, giving him a big hug. We will always share with each other, for we are happily bound with great love. Feathers joined us for a group hug. I continued to share my yellow. Oh, and also yellow brings on the memory of the words once upon a time, those magical moments when my mother would read us a bedtime story, all so excited for the tale. There, snuggling together in bed, with a bare yellow light bulb that gently glowed, its on-off chain of string still swaying from its awakening. Shadows and mystery danced in every corner of the room. The calling of crickets and night birds just outside our window, curtains blowing gently in the cool night breeze. Yellow is once upon a time. Once upon a time. It's magic, it's magic, it's magic, it's magic. Wish upon a star. Our friendship is magic. Oh,
Love you, friendship.
we laughed, still swaying from the song. We are on our way, I said with surprise. Look! I pointed to a little yellow light shining from a knot hole in the ash tree. We quickly all went to it and peered into the hole, then pulled back with shock as we saw a bright white skeleton looking up at us. Oh my, what was that? Oh my. Oh, we calmed ourselves and took another peek. The skeleton clicked its teeth in a friendly fashion.
It's about time. I'd like my eyes back, please.
We all looked at each other with surprise, not fully believing a spirit so quickly, for they can be tricksy with a hidden agenda. Hold on a minute. How do we know they are your eyes? I questioned, with a look of disbelief on my face.
Let me see them.
The skeleton urged, holding a bony hand up to us. The knothole of the tree was actually very small, no bigger than a silver dollar, so I didn't even think I could get the acorn eyes through it. They won't fit through the hole, I began, playing along with the skeleton for the moment. Do you know something? I asked.
Yes, I know a lot of things.
It said sharply.
What does that have to do with my missing eyes?
Well,
Caw.
we all said, looking to each other, not the right answer.
Caw, describe them.
Feathers asked, we agreeing with her question. The skeleton clicked his teeth in thought. I pulled the eyes out of my pocket and looked to them to see what they might think. They both moved quickly back and forth, like the no answer of a pendulum. Okay then, what's this skeleton really about? Unexpectedly, the skeleton began to cry. We looked to see his eye sockets actually filling with tears.
I am so tired.
The skeleton sighed with a gulp and a hiccup.
I am simply worn down to the bones.
And then it gave the most bone-chilling screech and laughed more.
Almost gotcha.
You are certainly not very nice, I reprimanded it. I was kind of hoping to have a new friend. I've never known a skeleton before.
Well, it ain't gonna be me.
It said, reading my mind. With one loud snort, all went dark in the hole, and it was gone. We sat back in disbelief. My, oh my, what was that all about?
There are still some nasties here at the Manor, mistress.
Simon whispered, not wanting to let any of them hear him say this. Yes, I guess, I agreed with disappointment. We hadn't come across any unfriendly ghosts for a time, I think, but I couldn't really remember. Oh, this manor, it does make you forget.
Caw. We know one thing. It wanted the eyes. Caw. There must be something special about them, Caw-Caw?
Feathers mused. Yeah, seems to be, I said, looking at the eyes. They both looked sheepishly down, their expression agreement, but with humbleness. This garden does attract a strange energy. It does hold the hanging tree at its center, not the best image, and doings surround it, I stated. A cold, sharp breeze answered this statement, sending a shiver over all of us, a warning of sorts, as each of us quickly hugged ourselves to protect our hearts. Back to the manor, I suggested.
Caw.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
mistress.
Yes, mistress.
Feathers and Simon agreed. Quickly we left the hidden garden of Harry Gorski's hanging tree in silence. I looked back, hoping to see him. I felt sad. A crow called from somewhere, sending its agreement. Once upon a time, I thought. So many possibilities within those little words. Yet I wondered further. What be in between those words? Hidden some things not many notice. Only those that have more than one set of eyes, perhaps. An interesting ponder. It feels the right path to follow. To see more in a different way. Can that truly be so? I thought of the acorn eyes safe and sound in my pocket. Could these be for me? My new set of eyes. Eyes to see magic. Eyes to see what others cannot. Blessings and hugs, dear listener.